You are tuned into the philosophy that can expand and build upon your creativity, imagination, and innovation. Everything is created twice. First in the mind, then it becomes reality. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. So you go out there to do the work day after day. The confidence to put yourself out there boldly, authentically, even though the success, the creation has not arrived, had not manifested just yet, that you know that the richest place on earth, the richest real estate on earth is the graveyard where dreams and goals and everything else die along with you because you did not have the courage to make things happen, the boldness, no, the courage, the boldness, the beingness, the commitment to make things happen. But that's all going to change because you got this go-getter energy. Instead of waiting for things to happen, you go out and make things happen. You go out and create your own circumstances because this is the method, the philosophy, podcast, frameworks, and soon to be everything else that I'm developing this philosophy known as create like a God. This is your man, Jaron Mitchell, aka Jaron Winning Mitchell, because I believe I am a winner, and so are you, because it took 10,000 ways. It did not work for Thomas Edison perfect the electric oh my goodness, to perfect the electric light bulb. And winners take a lot of L's before they're able to get what they want. Okay, but also as well, I say they had, yeah, they took a lot. They took a lot of chances. They had the courage to put themselves out there. Okay, and also teamwork, make the dream work, baby. But here's the thing. We're going to continue with the yesterday's episode that we talked about, which is 12 riches of life. And we're going through 7 through 12 today. So this will be point number 7 that I'm leading off from yesterday. Okay. So before we go ahead and continue, you guys maybe already get the gist. If you're on, if you make sure you give your man's an HBO special, help a brother out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. So that way you're able to get notifications from me in this channel every time it posts. And we always post on podcasting, which right now currently it may be the same thing with YouTube as well. At 6 o'clock a.m., you guys will be getting this. We'll be getting the Create Like a God podcast every single day at 6 a.m. early in the morning to make sure this is your morning routine. Okay, your morning routine where you're able to listen to it, you're able to get to listen to good content before throughout your day. Okay, so this is 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that'll be 9 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I live in Pacific. If I am maybe in Eastern, it'll probably be 6 o'clock as well for Eastern. Maybe it'll be Eastern, or depending on where you're listening to, it probably would drop in Eastern. Then it drops in, then it drops in, in depending on the time, whatever time it is. Okay, so willingness. Before I go ahead and go, beforehand. Okay, get me at the HBO special. Hit that like, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, so that way we can move up on YouTube. Okay, our goal for this year is 100,000. It's a big goal, it's an outrageous goal, but you know what? If we miss, we still land amongst the stars. Okay, this podcast is going to be every single day. So about time this year ends. This year, there should be like 300 and probably 320 some episodes by the end of this year. Not should, it is going to be 320 episodes by the end of this year, and how Spotify does their raps and stuff like that. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited what this year is in store for the Create Like a God podcast. So you may meet the 30-day mark. As you can see, 30 days consistent. And there's going to be some more stuff with 31 and next and so on and so on. Okay. So with that, and also with the podcast as well, give your man's a 5-star rating and review. Okay. And so that way we can move up into rankings and go into the show notes, click the YouTube channel, YouTube button, or look me up on YouTube, Jaron Mitchell, or Create Like a God should come up, but you'll see my picture. Okay. You know what I look like if you see it on YouTube, or go on my Instagram, Jaron W. Mitchell. Okay. And you'll be able to see, Create Like God podcast, and you're able to see the podcast and stuff like that. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. Let's go ahead and get to it. Okay. Point number 7, today's topic, which is the 12 riches of life, continuing from yesterday, 7 through 12. Point number 7, not selling. Point number 7. Okay. Willingness to share one's blessings. Okay. Willingness to share one's blessings. Okay. You got blessings and share it. The go-giver. Okay. And then we go ahead and continue what it read in the Master Keys of Riches. Go ahead and pick up that book, which is we got what he who has not learned the blessed art of sharing has not learned the true path of happiness. Happiness comes from only by sharing. And let it be forever remembered, all riches may be embellished, and multiply by simply processing one blessings, sharing them where they may serve others. Okay, riches which are not shared, rather they be material wealth and intangibles, rather die like a rose and serve steam for the one nature, first law of incarnate in action and disuse lays to decay and death. And the law applies the material possessions of man just as it applies to living cells in every physical body. I'm gonna have to reread that. But sharing one's blessings, sharing your blessings, able to share. Let me reread that again. Okay, riches which are not shared, rather they rather not rather repeat that again, man. Riches which are not shared, rather they be material riches or intangibles, wither, die, or the rose on its stem, a serve stem, for it is one with nature. First law of inaction and disuse lead to decay and death. In this law applies to material possessions of man, just as applies to living cells in every physical body. Okay, atrophy. Okay, this is what I look at. This atrophy must be used. Wealth is not used. Some things are not used. It will atrophy. It will not. You would lose. You basically lose control. Would declare, wither, and die. Okay, take care of yourself, but more with your riches. Able to share your riches and your blessings. Okay, this is more like also with paying it forward. Pay it forward. Okay, pay it forward. I mean, yeah, people can help me out and they tell me, hey, Jaron, pay it forward. That's how we actually pay it forward or multiply the what we gave you, whatever it is. Okay, share your blessings. Share your blessings with your world. Share your talents with the world. Share your gifts with the world. Okay, share them. Share your blessings. Okay, if you're able to get, do donations and donate on 100,000, a million, you can do that. You can do that if you want. Rich people do that. They share their blessings. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the next point, which is the 12 riches of life, 7 through 12, which is remix. Actually, this is number 8, which is the labor of love. Okay, the labor of love. There can be no richer man than he who has found the labor of love and who is basically bustly engaged in performing it. For labor is the highest form of the human expression of desire. Labor is the leanness between the demand and supply of human needs, the forerunner of human progress, in the medium by which the imagination of man is given its wings into action. All the labor of love is significant because it brings the joy and self-expression to him who performs it. This is the labor of love. Love, this work that you love doing. Okay, love. I remember saying, doing what you love. Do something that you love. And sometimes you got to do things that you do not like to do what you love doing. Okay, when you in love sets you. When you doing the labor of love, it sets you fire. You will do it, even though you won't get paid for it. Even though you probably possibly won't make a living for it. Okay, you just love it. You love creating art. You love creating music. You love being business. You love talking to people. You love doing, I love talking about this podcast and Napoleon Hill's, all this other personal development book and many other things that I talk about. I love talking about this stuff. I love it. I'm so excited for it. I'm spending I'm up 2:00 in the morning as of this moment right now, giving you guys this content, a.m. Okay, and basically February 1st, which the first episode with Nothing Is Original by now, it's dropping. You're going to get 30. This is 30 days from now, right here. Okay. The labor of love. Okay. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing. Do what you love. But some things you got to do what you hate. And also make sure you get yourself riches. You got to use all 12 riches in life. Okay. All 12 riches. Let's go ahead and get to the next point, which is the next point is today's topic, which is 12 riches of life, 7 through 12. Number 9. Okay. Which is an open mind on all subjects. Okay, turbulence, which is among the highest turbinical. I'm probably not pronounce that word. Which is among the higher attributes of culture, is expressed only by the person who holds an open mind in all subjects. And it is only the man with an open mind who becomes truly educated and who is thus prepared to avail himself of greater riches. Okay, this is one thing my dad used to told me. Okay, I was deep into Christianity, deep into it. Okay, deep into it and everything like that. And I remember my dad was telling me having keep an open mind. And I was pretty much deep into it. I'm still say I'm a Christian. I'm still say I'm a Christian, but I am not what the normal Christians would think. Okay, and I'm gonna have an episode on this. You guys is gonna I may get backlash for it. I may upset some people, but there's a reason. There's a reason that I think that it can actually work, not just Christianity. Okay, I believe Christian. I look at Christianity as the being disciples of Jesus Christ. Okay, that's how I look at it. But let me tell you, that's another day, another story. I give you, you might think, well, Jaren's a Christian. What do you mean, Jaren? I thought you wasn't really a Christian. I remember I was talking about in the beginning with the churches and all that. My perspectives and stuff and changed. But there's one thing my dad tell me: keep an open mind. And for me, having an open mind, this podcast would never exist. My dad would never tell me that. One of the reasons it was one of the reasons that this podcast will never exist. The second reason is because my one of my stories, which I'm developing, I've been working on for years and years and looking to get onto it. So make sure you go ahead and support my Patreon, and we're able to get that up and going as well, which is Falling the Son of Sin. There's another one called God, Adam, and it's like a whole bunch of influences and stuff that I got and have ideas on, and I'm looking to get it out there. But Falling the Son of Sin is mostly the one I've been working on, and thanks to God, Adam, or it's fluent to God, Adam as well, because they're both going to be connected. I'm giving you guys some little spoilers, alerts with the stories and everything like that. I want the story to change, but all those stuff wouldn't exist. This podcast wouldn't exist. Really, it wouldn't exist. And me going through all the research and doing all the research, keeping an open mind, realizing that all these religions and all these mythologies and all that are connected in some type of way. Same thing what you could say with aliens. I looked up Dolores Canyons with Dolores Canyon with the past life regressions. Okay, with her books, The Convoluted Universe 1 and 2. I believe I got 1 and 2 in Jesus in the scenes. Okay, and there's also the book of Law of One. Okay, I would never come across them books because my dad told me to keep an open mind. And there's many other things, ideas that I have as well. I'm always I have an open mind to keep. Okay, but it will bring you great riches. You have an open mind to something. You have an open mind. You're not just locked in on one thing and everything else is wrong. Hey, man, let's lose our imagination. There's so much that we do not know, even from the Bible. The Bible tells us as basic instructions before leaving Earth. I haven't much read the Quran, which I do have the Quran as well. And yeah, the Bible, it teaches us that way a good life. I can explain that later. But the whole point of me saying is because this podcast would never exist. I wasn't able to give you guys this content. There's that one thing that my dad told me that took everything else, which is keep an open mind. And that led me to having like somewhat later on with Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil, that really influenced this podcast. That book, Outwitting the Devil. A lot of my work from Napoleon Hill influenced this podcast. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the next point. Today's topic, which is the 12 riches of life, 7 through 12 remix. Point number 10 from leading off from yesterday, which is self-discipline. Okay, confidence, put yourself out there boldly, authentically, with self-discipline with Dre Baldwin. Okay, with Dre Baldwin, creativity calls with self-discipline. And certain things, actually a lot of things with self-discipline. Without self-discipline, you won't be able to create things. Okay, you won't be able to keep that momentum. This podcast, think about it, 30 days straight, which not every day was recorded, but now I'm able to record every single day, every content, keep it with 30 days or more if I choose to. Okay, if I choose to keep continuing more with this podcast and put more content out. But now I can still do 1-2 podcasts, whatever it is, and give you guys more substance as well. During my podcast, as you can see, I'm standing up late at night with this, but with 12, you don't see that, but just in the morning will be like that. Okay. Self-discipline. Okay. The man who is not a master of himself may not become the master of anything. He who is a master of self is become a master of his own earthly destiny, the master of his fate and the captain of your soul. And Pop, Create Like a God has to deal with self-discipline. And me thinking about that, I'm glad I'm rereading this. Just glad that I'm like teaching you guys this, because I'm rereading this, and it's helping me as well. It's helping me as well that I'm teaching this. I haven't read the book Master Keys to Riches in a while, but I'm glad I read this, because self-discipline is having taken your charge of your own earthly destiny, your own taking full possession of your own mind, having the master of your fate, your captain of your soul. Okay, man, I freaking love it. I freaking love this, man. Let's go to the next point. I mean, next point, but the next one that I have right here, which from Master Keys of Riches, go ahead and get the book. Okay. And the highest form of the self-discipline consists of the expression of humility of the heart, in which has attained great riches and has been overtaken by that which is commonly called success. Self-discipline is the cause of your success. Okay, think about it. 30 days of me doing this podcast so far. It's going to be 31, 32. Imagine what, 200, 300 some episodes this year, because I missed like 28 days, 28 or 30 days, 29 days of this year. So minus 29 days of this year. Okay, you're going to see. We're going to see. Okay, self-discipline. And you must master yourself. Mastery of self, I think, is an art of war. He talks about the one who the one who knows thyself knows his enemies will win many battles. Well, in peril, many battles. I don't remember the exact quote or the exact thing what it says. But right here, what it says, I'm gonna repeat it again, man, because I love it. The man who is in the master of himself may never become the master of anything. Who is the master of he who is a master of self becomes the master of his own earthly destiny, the master of his fate, and the captain of his soul. Man, let's go ahead and get to the next point. Point number 11, today's topic, which is 12 riches of life, 7 through 12, which is the capacity of understanding people. One of the 7 habits of highly effective people is seek to understand, then to be understood. One of the acronyms of success is to understand. Okay, capacity of understanding people. Okay, and here's what it is. The man who is rich is understanding people always recognize that all people are fundamentally alike, and they have evolved from the same stem, that all humans' activities are inspired by one or more of the 9 basic motives in life. These are the 9 basic motives to understanding people, the capacity to understand people. Okay, the emotion of love, the emotion of sex, the desire of material gain, the desire of preservation. Okay, the desire of freedom of body and mind, the desire of self-expression, the desire of perpetuation of life and death, preparation, oh my goodness, can't even say the damn word. Anticipation, I believe. I don't know. That may be life and death. The emotion of anger and the emotion of fear. Okay, those are the 9 basic motives of life. Okay, and going along with that, and man who would understand others must first understand himself. Okay, this is understanding yourself. You must understand who you are. This is the whole. That's why it says understand success with the acronym, which according to psycho-cybernetics, which is understand, understood. Understand or understood. I believe it was like to understand, seek to understand, then to be understood. But understand yourself. Understand why you work. Understand why you do things. How you was raised. What was deep in your subconscious mind? Why do you think that way? Because how your parents were. Okay, how you was raised, and why you think the way you think, and what it is you do things because of your subconscious mind. Know yourself. You must understand yourself. Okay, the capacity of understanding others and eliminate many of the common causes of friction among men. It is the foundation of all friendship. Okay, it is the basis of all harmony and cooperation among men, which leads up to the last one we talked about yesterday. And the fundamentals of the major importance of all leadership is this. In some believe that it is the approach of major importance of understanding of the creator of all things. Okay, capacity of understanding people. This is the power of it. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the last point, which today's topic, which is the 12 riches of life, 7 through 12, which is number 12, which is economic security. This is money. Okay, this is dealing with money. The last, through not least of the importance, a tangible portion of the 12 riches. Okay, this is the last. Economic security is not attainable by the position of money alone. It is attained by all the forms of human need with or without the use of money. Your mind must be conditioned for the appreciation of riches, just as the soil of the earth must be prepared for the planting of the seed. When on it is ready for things, it is sure to appear. This does not mean that the thing one may need will appear without a cause. For there is a vast difference between one needs and one readiness to receive. To miss this distinction, it is to miss the major